And welcome back to the American Athletic Conference Media Day. Sign Rini and I up to go call a game at Tulane. Always a great place to play. 6-6 last season, their third consecutive bowl game, and they'll do it this year with a returning quarterback in Michael Pratt. What did you see from him last year and some flashes that give you kind of some confidence in him heading into his sophomore year?
Yeah, well, he grew up in a hurry. He had 20 touchdowns last year as a true freshman. That was the most of any in the country. And just the experience he gained last year is invaluable. So that means so much moving into the start of this season. Well,
as we move into Tulane's question and answer section, we now welcome head coach Willie Fritz to the podium, or the Zoom call as we're doing this virtually. Thanks so much for joining us, Coach. I want to start off. You have new coordinators on both sides of the ball. How has the process been implementing those new schemes and getting them acquainted with your players?
Well, it's been great. First of all, you both were more than welcome to come to New Orleans and come to a game. You're right. It's a tremendous experience. No, I think having two new coordinators, luckily we had the advantage of, some familiarity with both of them with our program. Chip Long, our new offensive coordinator, he's got a wealth of experience. He's the offensive coordinator for 3 years at Notre Dame. He also called the offense when he was at Memphis. And he's also best friends with Will Hall, who was our offensive coordinator the last 2 years. So there are some similarities between what Chip runs and what we're doing offensively now and what Coach Hall did. And then Coach Hampton, Chris Hampton, left us for a year. He'd been with us for 4 seasons at Tulane, went a year to Duke, and is now back, very familiar with the players, the structure, and how I like to do things. So it is new, but there also are a lot of experiences both of them have had within the program and understand how I like to do things.
Okay, we'll take questions now for Coach Willie Fritz. We'll start with Gary Smith from the New Orleans Times-Picayune, please.
Not there.
Gary, not hearing your audio. If you just want to try again. Okay, we'll see if we can get Gary connected. We'll go with Dan Tortora. Wake up call DT, please.
Coach, how are you?
Good, Dan. How are you?
Doing well. Just what you can say about, you have Oklahoma coming up on the schedule. There's been a lot of things going on with, obviously Oklahoma, Texas, and what it means for the rest of the Big 12. How are you viewing this as a coach, as realignment maybe rearing its head again?
I'm not really looking into that too much. Our athletic director, Troy Dannon, is understands exactly what's going on and is going to put Tulane in the best position possible. And we also we embrace the schedule that we have. One of the things our conference commissioner, when I first came in the league, going on 6 years now, he wanted us to play a much more difficult schedule, and we're doing that. I think our guys are excited and pumped up about the opportunity to play, if not the best team in the country, one of the top 2 or 3 teams in preseason rankings with Oklahoma. And we get to do it at home, which doesn't always occur. So we're very, very excited about the schedule we got in front of us this season.
And then as far as a quick follow-up here, New Orleans, we know what that can bring and what that type of excitement is to be there and to visit. And I've had the opportunity to be around the people there, and they're incredible. Having fans in the stands and some sense of normalcy, just how important that is to a place like New Orleans, which has such its own heartbeat, so to speak.
I think it's very important, especially the stadium that we have. I tell everybody all the time that I think this is the most intimate setting for a college football game. Every seat is a great seat. Sometimes you play in some stadiums and there's kind of a rumor of a game going on down on the field, but this is really a excellent stadium. And I think when people come and watch a game here on our campus, they want to come back to as many as possible. So having a first game against a team like Oklahoma and a packed house, I think is going to help us for years to come.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach, what is your team's vaccination rate, and what do you think of the league's position that games that are affected by COVID will not be rescheduled but may result in a forfeit?
I think that's good. I'm very proud of the fact that I believe we were one of 10 schools that played 12 ball games last year. Our guys did a fantastic job of following all the protocol that was established by both our university and also the AAC. We're 100% vaccinated with our coaching staff, and we're over 90% with our players right now. So I think that's a good combination, but we still got to be very, very careful. I think all of us realize that, and we're just going to have to make sure that we're abiding by all the rules that both Tulane and New Orleans and the conferences set for us.
We can go back to Dan Tortora for a follow-up, please.
Coach, for you, the biggest pieces that you're kind of looking at this season as you step in to 2021, kind of those key areas that you're looking at leadership to step up at this point for 2021?
We're going to play a lot of guys early. This is by far the most depth that I've ever had here at Tulane.
So we can
Feel good about us two deep wise. So that's going to, we're going to have to be smart as coaches to figure out, playing time and who to roll in and who to roll out. And then also we're going to have a lot of competition for starting positions during preseason camp. You can go through spring ball, but it's not playing a ball game. We're going to actually do 3 live scrimmages, which is one more than I normally do. And then use those first couple games as well, to figure out, who's going to be playing the majority of snaps for you, who's going to come in and roll in every second series, every third series. So that's something we're going to have to do a great job. I'm going to have to do a great job of as a head coach, and then our 3 coordinators on the offense, defense, and special teams need to do a great job of that as well.
Hey, Coach, Chris Budden here in studio. For Michael Pratt last year, he got kind of thrust into that starting role a couple games in. Where have you seen his growth now, knowing that the job is his, having a spring under his belt as the keys to that offense?
Michael is a fantastic leader on and off the field, and very involved with everybody in our program, not just the offensive side of the ball. You're right. He did kind of get thrown in there week 3, and then from that point forward, we didn't look back. And there's so many things he does for us on the field, but he's more effective off the field, and helping the coaching staff, build that team atmosphere and team camaraderie that's so important.
Hey, Willie, Billy Embody with 24/7 Sports. Opening up with Oklahoma coming to Tulane, can you speak to the atmosphere that you guys are expecting around the stadium, and just the excitement level of that type of an opponent coming to Tulane?
You bet. It's really exciting that we got a team of their caliber coming here to New Orleans and playing in Yulman Stadium, our stadium that's right on campus, right in the middle of campus. And we've had a lot of talk about it. Our guys are very excited. You always have everybody's attention week 1 of the season, irregardless of who you're playing. But I think there's a little more bounce in their step, knowing that we got one of the top teams in the country coming to our stadium.
Hey, Coach, Rini Angolia here. You talked about Chris Hampton coming back, and he's very familiar, obviously, with your personnel. And I think arguably you have the best linebacker group in the conference, Dorian Williams and Nick Anderson. Talk about that group.
Yeah, we've got 4 excellent linebackers coming back. I always, talk about having bona fide Division I football players, and certainly the 4 guys who we got that will take the majority of the reps for us at the linebacker position fit the bill in that regard. Nick Anderson came in here as a junior college transfer from Jones Community College. He's, I think he led our team in tackles last year. Dorian Williams is on the Bednarik watch list for linebackers. He's a guy that when we recruited him, he's 191 pounds. He's now 230. I think he's got a future playing at the next level after Tulane. Marvin Moody has started a ton of games for us at linebacker. He's going to be a super senior for us this upcoming season. And then another super senior we have is Kevin Henry. Kevin had a great year, and he's made tremendous progress in the spring and in the summer with workouts and really taking everything 100% serious, whether it's nutrition or lifting weights or coming in and studying extra. So it's rare that you have two guys, the linebacker position. We feel really good about all four of our guys. We'll be able to roll those guys and then also play them a bunch in the kicking game as well.
Well, thank you so much, Coach Fritz, for joining us. We're looking forward to seeing your guys hit the field as you host Oklahoma on September 4th.
Thank you very much. Roll Wave.
That'll be a good one if you're going to go to New Orleans, that one against the Sooners as they open up this season. You asked him about the defense. What did you learn from him of what we can expect from them?
A lot of depth. They returned 16 starters, and I just think they have depth everywhere, and that's really good. And then, of course, two new coordinators, but he talked about it. Chris Hampton was there before, so he's very familiar. And Chip Long runs a very similar system to Will Hall. So I think they're going to be running from the get-go.
Even on the offensive side, when you look at who they get back as well, Tyjae Spears returning from ACL injury. Cam Carroll, who was their leading rusher, also returns. They've been to 3 consecutive bowl games. That is a school record as Willie Fritz gets the Tulane program back into the spotlight. And they were picked 7th in the preseason poll. Where do you see them fitting in, kind of in the Houstons, the Memphis, kind of in that middle area?
For the last couple of years, they're that team that's just kind of been on the cusp, right? They're just almost there. So this could be the year with the experience they have coming back. This is the year they could turn the page and really be up there in the top of the conference, of the upper echelon.
Let's now join the student athletes who are joining us from Tulane. Michael Pratt, quarterback, joining us, and Nick Anderson, linebacker out of Tulane. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. We'll have the media start asking some questions of you guys.
And again, use the raise hand feature in your chat. If you have a question, we'll go right to questions. We'll start with Trace Trilko from Sons of UCF, please.
Guys, you're projected 6th in the league. It's 7 wins, 6 wins. What do you have to do differently this season to really contend in the American?
Really, I think we just have to finish. When it comes down to those big time games, we were in 3 of them last year with Navy, SMU, and Tulsa. Once we get to that point, fourth quarter comes, we just really got to finish and execute.
Like Pratt said, it's all about, just playing our style of football, playing to our standard, playing to our level. We have talented coaches, talented athletes on our team, and when we all come together, we can do dynamic things. So like Michael just said, just playing our style of football, finishing and putting the emphasis on being the best we can be week in, week out.
This is Brian Moss with Tiger Sports Report. This is a question for both of you. There's a lot of competitive games in the American Conference. What makes this conference so fun to play in for both of you?
Overall, just like you said, just the competitive spirit in this conference. I feel like this conference can go in and compete with anybody, any team in the nation. And to just play that level of talent week in, week out, it makes you a better football player. It's something that you thrive to see. Just play against players that, are just as talented as you. It makes you, want to be better. It makes you want to complete that drive and that passion of being the best you can be week in, week out.
Yeah, just like you said, just the level of competition in this league. I really feel like any team in this league is capable of going and playing any ACT or SEC, ACC school and, having a good chance and, coming out and wins in a lot of those games. So just that competitive spirit and going in each week and, getting to play some top teams is really exciting.
We'll take the next one from Dan Tortora, Wake Up Call DT, please.
Michael, for you, just what you can say coming off your true freshman season at quarterback, you learned the most from the film. And then Nick, just what you can say about defensive coordinator Chris Hampton.
Looking back at year one, I really emphasized, going back and not looking at what I did well, but what I did wrong, and getting to take those things into the off season, into the spring, into the summer, and really just, paying a lot of attention to detail, and emphasizing the little things, my footwork, moving my eyes through progressions, picking up blitzes, changing protections. So all that stuff really just, shows on film, stepping up in the pocket, avoiding sacks. Those little things that I got to work on this offseason hopefully will translate into the season coming up, and, good to see the work that we put in.
Having Coach Hampton come to our program was phenomenal. To see a familiar face that, has a loving spirit, a competitive spirit, and a drive for being great was just great to have back in our locker room. He's a phenomenal coach as far as like scheme-wise and on and off the field, as being that, father figure to our players on our team. And I'm just excited to see what he has in store for us this season.
And then for both of you, quick follow-up, just what you think about name, image, and likeness, how you've kind of taken that all in and what information you know.
I think it's a good opportunity for athletes. I think it gives a lot of people opportunities, and, is more of a drive, a sense of urgency, and, level of competitiveness to, win those starting spots. A lot of guys, they have some that they can look forward to. So just like I said, it's just a really good opportunity for a lot of guys, but you got to make sure you stay on task and, not let yourself slip away and focus on the wrong things, but, take the opportunities as they come.
It's just a blessing to be able to benefit off your name, image, and likeness, and, gain that compensation for the things that you go through as a college football player. It's a blessing. And like Pratt said, it's something that can't be a distraction. At the end of the day, your opportunities with name, image, and likeness comes for your proficiency on the football field. So you got to keep the main thing, and keep performing and doing your duties day in and day out athletically, and everything else will take care of itself.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to try again with Gary Smith from the New Orleans Times-Picayune, please.
As a follow-up to that question right there, guys, just any individual opportunities that you've already capitalized on with the name, image, and likeness rights. And you mentioned how much is the balance for you, making sure you're still focused on the field?
Overall, I haven't really talked to many companies as far as my name's image and likeness. I talked to a couple of local places from home, but my main focus this summer has been on, just being the best I can for my team, preparing for this season, preparing for our season opener on September 4th.
Yeah, like you said, I've talked to some smaller companies and different things like that, but, when it comes to the balance, especially this season coming up, over the summer is obviously when NIL dropped and was allowed, but, this summer we've really not taken that in, kind of just emphasized what we need to get done on the field. And I feel like when we're balancing that out and paying attention to what's necessary on the field and what we have to put into work this season, all that stuff will come, once it pays off on the field.
And you guys were picked 7th in the media poll released this morning. Any thoughts on that?
As far as the program, we plan on letting the work that we put in speak for itself. Yep. Nothing much to really say on that. We got to lace up our cleats and we got to play football just like everybody else. I'm excited for this season. I'm excited to see what we do this season. I'm excited for everything to come together and for us to really prove that we're one of the top premier teams in this league. That's really all I got to say on that.
Okay, we get one more from Justin Williams from The Athletic, please.
Michael, as a young player, curious your thoughts on the potential for an expanded college football playoff and what that might mean for a program like Tulane in future seasons.
I think it's really cool. I think it'd be a good opportunity, just having more teams enter that college football playoff. Definitely gives teams like Tulane and a lot of teams in our conference a good opportunity to get into that playoff. It's definitely something that's exciting and motivating. And we just got to, keep progressing forward and, be able to make that step to get there.
Michael, Chris Budden here. There's video of you working out with Jalen Waddle over the summer. What did you learn from him, and how did that relationship develop?
Just a lot of mutual guys that I know. He was working down in South Florida, and I was down there training with my trainer, Goldfeet Global. Just, being able to be there with some of those top guys and, hearing some of the experiences that they've been through college, just, taking that knowledge in, and then, really just going out there and seeing their work ethic and, the sacrifices that they make to be in the position that they are, is just really, really intriguing and inspiring, and definitely more of a mental thing to take out from that than a physical aspect.
Hey guys, Rini and Goalie here. So you guys talked about how tough your conference is and what a grind it is each and every week, but you get to open up against one of the top ranked teams in the country in Oklahoma. You get them at home. Talk about, the opportunity there to take on a program like Oklahoma.
Overall, it's just exciting to have one of the top teams in the nation. I think yesterday was ranked number 2 in the first ESPN poll, and just having, that opportunity to really display how good we are as a program on our own turf is phenomenal. That's something that we've put emphasis on this entire offseason, is being great and starting off with that first game of really showing the nation who we are as a football program and showing them that we really can compete on top level with top level teams, and it's exciting.
Yeah, like you said, it's just a really great opportunity for us to get to showcase what we've done this offseason, progress moving forward. But we're not going to take this game to that standard, but we're going to see it just like any other game, and handle business like we're supposed to. And obviously there's a little bit of a mental edge of knowing that they're coming in here and with the opportunity we have going in. But we're just excited to get to play football every week, and we're really looking forward to it.
Thank you so much, Nick Anderson, Michael Pratt. We're looking forward to that game against Oklahoma on September 4th. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Roll wave.
And coming up, we are going to have the team picked number 1 to win the league in the AAC. That is the Cincinnati Bearcats. Desmond Ridder returning for another season. He will take some questions. We'll also be joined by Luke Fickell as well, head coach, joining us right after this.